pressure over that mold in the way that he wanted to. Now, this is his team. Let's see if he can lead them to victory over FNATIC. As you were saying to me earlier, Tom, and VCT, BO3s don't go their way. That's a sneaky play by Nats. Right up the rope. Goes past one and takes him down. FNATIC, though, trading blows for the most part. It's left Boaster alone.
In the bonus.
Now we see the Outlaw again, but it's swapped hands to give Keiko a rifle. Both of those players end up falling immediately. FNATIC not pulling any punches as Boaster through the smoke drops camo. All right, well. You say to do it all normally, but this isn't a round they're likely to win at this point.
100 credits. You at least need to hold on to one of these rifles.
Yep.
Probably shouldn't be the Bulldog, so Serial's going to go looking, but he is found immediately. Yeah. I think he's just trying to pick off one. It's not worth it, though. Nats can do anything. Already an aggressive start to the round. Camo going looking, and it's the bait and switch, but Camo actually predicts.
A little bit more delayed in reacting to this split that's coming through. FNATIC from main and from vents with a stinger in hand and already heavily damaged up. That's really not in the best of positions to keep this advantage in their favor. Snakebite goes down, that's going to delay them. They've got teammates coming to link up, and the wall up is going to stop any sight lines for Camo. This is a tough position, Nats, so he's got the close range angle. He's being spotted, the decoy blinds him. Great play by kaajak. They'll get themselves towards the site, but now the rotations are coming in, and there's only 12 seconds to get this spike planted. Pressure on as Camo picks up 4! By an inch. The rotation's already coming through. Team Liquid, 3 players towards the site, but only 1 on it, and the gate crash used to get right out of there. Showstopper fired in, but it's Keiko who ends up falling. Chronicle fires right back through that smoke and ends up packing the punch that gets Viper's Pit to the site. They can now use that to lock it down, but they're picking off scalps. Never mind. No ults needed by the looks of things. It's Nats and Serial with a big challenge on their hands.
He got killed through the corner of the fake out. That was a nice shot from Alfajer, and while for the remaining 2, it almost seems impossible. FNATIC, they just want to keep their own economy strong.
Yep. The flash coming in from kaajak. He's got his gate crash to get right onto the site, so he might look like he's a little too far away. Alfajer, though, paving the way. Only the one to be found. Keiko, he's had a lights-out start to this map. The battle between himself and Alfajer is something that has to be highlighted. You imagine Alpha has the upper hand. Certainly recent performances on this map, some of them have looked great for him. Camo on his way through. He's got the flash to work with. He's going all the way to backside, just opening up the info for his teammates. Viper's Pit, though, put in as the pressure's applied.
He spotted everybody, though. He knows that the majority are locked towards the backside, but they have missed out on crashies, potentially slipping the net. He was looking to just round that backline, but has decided to delay, wait patiently to come back in.
I like the idea from Camo. He faked out that he was the decoy, but he couldn't quite find Chronicle. He was too deep in there. They've got him eventually, though, and Boaster falls with him. Crashies now up close, finds one. Defuse already up to half, and he knows that that player had to come off the defuse. Biding time here. Keiko trying to force the fight.
Like a much more direct early take. They've done the same with Chronicle, already making that rotation over. This shot needs to be connected, and while Camo has to just escape that one, it leaves Keiko dead to rights, but he gets the trade. Unfortunately for them, crashies is just quick enough. And now with the Cosmic Divide, there were 4 ults in this round. FNATIC have already used a couple of them. But with a post plant and a man advantage, it's a good spot, and an even better one found.
Winning all their duels, and it's that
Chronicle again, just going, okay, I'm just gonna play. Even a trade wouldn't be great here for Alfajer, and yeah,
you've seen them. Snakebite's gonna go down 30 seconds as well. This utility is gonna delay them by a little bit.
I like the use of the dimensional drift. I think going in this late to a round, you need to know where your opponents are. kaajak trying to make things more awkward. In fact, even looks to try and take the duel. 15 seconds. Nats is the one to find the kill, and even a showstopper thrown in, which does eventually catch out crashies. 10 seconds. FNATIC have left it so late to try and get something done, but the spam actually helps out, and now needs a little bit more, but straight through the smoke. It will be Nats.
By Nats.
Will they?
Seconds left.
They've been spotted. There's an idea now that Nats should stick around. There was a gap. That gap is now closed. Nats spots them on the cross, almost loses his life for his trouble. Keiko under heavy pressure in the backside. There's a response. The shots need to land for Keiko. He'll grab one, 12 seconds again. Time pressure on for FNATIC. Players flooding into the site, the plant being stuck, and it will be acquired, but these players are out in the...
So late in this round, I think it was a shot by Chronicle that was the first sort of piece of the puzzle, but I also really like as well that
Then aggression in middle. Now the reposition from Camo as he gate crashed out with the utility thrown his way, but when he swings in with that op, crashies is there waiting. Now they've got their opportunity. A player down, but the B site that they're looking at already has reinforcements. paTiTek rotated into heaven to cover this off. Snakebite down from Nats. He's getting aggressive, they both are. They're waiting as the smoke fades and they'll take down crashies. That's the spike right in front of them. Nats picking them off one by one, and it's a 4-piece already. An ace on the cards, it's kaajak to deny.
Just take the pick and escape, but it is going to come down to the timing on the clock. He's been spotted, but just decides leaving is far more important. Alfajer will take the space on the side, but there's so many players already here. Serial, Nats combining. Alfajer has at least been able to find one back with a nade, and I don't think they realized how deep into the site kaajak was. This leaves things level, but only for a moment. 30 seconds.
30 seconds
With
left.
Boaster low.
One enemy remaining.
Chronicle's the one that needs to take the fight, and well, you mentioned this man's clutches, but this would be one of the toughest ones, and it is on the line in this match. Both squads looking to play in, and while crashies under pressure.
It's Camo going in for it, but kaajag's there to greet him and plenty of players to swing with. A big fight on the backside, and with a triple kill under his belt, kaajag may have pulled him across the line here. Hungry for that international appearance is Serial with 32 HP is the last man standing. Coming in with a 2-round deficit, the pistol will certainly help you remedy that right off rip. With everybody on high HP, this is quite the challenge.
Trying to find an isolated duel, while Boaster is exactly that, but not much of an investment. Nats with a little bit extra on the ghost.
Flash.
Okay then.
Nats doing his best Chronicle impression. It's not quite a classic, but it'll do the job. With Team Liquid taking down 2, a rifle in the hands of Camo. This round is far from a certainty for the defenders. In fact, this could be a major upset to the flow of this early half. They could have bridged the gap, but instead they are left miles apart. Team Liquid looking like 8-6 with a big economy boost, and it's only Boaster who stands in the way. I mentioned he was tied up for the highest clutch percentage, had been in a lot more than his opponent. But this one, they're playing it perfectly. Off paTiTek's contact.
Main push. There's 2 players waiting on the other side. Pop flash with Heaven already being claimed. But FNATIC have taken an awful lot of ground, and actually it's Alfajer that wins that first battle. In fact, they're winning the majority, clearing out that backline. Well, I think the others have already been spotted. Keiko walking into Chronicle, even low, still manages to win the fight. And the only man standing.
Team Liquid, they may have had a few stumbles, but
maybe just trying to sell the ultimate ruse. Yeah, okay, there we go. I was thinking that's an odd spot to sit.
Screen down.
look at this from Nats. He's pushed his way up, caught his timing on A. Should be something they're aware of, but I see a gate crash going towards it, and he will be right on the cusp of it.
I don't think they have any idea.
Just a moment. I don't think they do. You're spot on with that. And the play coming through vents. They'll send players back in that direction if they're spotted. Oh, this is it. Nats walking up. They're looking the right way, and he actually gets one before going down. Luckily, crashies was spotting that area too, but the pressure on now. Rotate in from kaajak. Op is in play, and crashies stays aggressive. That's a great play to get them the advantage.
He's connected. All 3 of the remaining players. crashies has just maybe won them the round individually. He's bought time for the remainder to rotate in. Stuns, gravity wells being thrown through to slow Liquid further. And now the clock coming up to just 25 seconds left for them to try and make a move. Liquid need to get into this site. And in fact, they've teleported almost directly onto an opponent. The swing doesn't quite work out though. crashies still standing, and Serial once again left to try and clutch things out. But let's be honest, I don't think there's any world in which he manages to get this done, especially now. The time already gone. crashies the first point of contact, and he's going to do ultimates ready. And already, Alfajer, he's basically just had to shoot down.
What a nasty surprise it is as you hear that voice line delivered. And a rocket fired in. Two players down below. They've got a trap set and sprung with the spike
one player
now
there.
under
Never
their
mind.
control. It's only Chronicle needed, but he had the backup, and now they've got the spike to work with for Team Liquid.
They also
Where
only
do they go?
shot at Chronicle. So Alfia was just the spectator. Serial finally deals with him, and paTiTek's found another. Now the spike, as you said, is in a
Last player
horrible
standing.
spot. And while with
I mean, the position's now down on bottom mid. The only thing going for him is they don't know where he's going to come from. They've set up a big swing, but it's for him coming from the attacker side. He can isolate the first
30
duel,
seconds
but he's
left.
down to 2 HP. Well
as well for the side of Liquid, unless one's called by the opposing side. Chronicle again has just stepped up with a double. An aggressive position to say the least, but with Nats and Camo gone, it's about as good as it gets. Maybe you would have wanted to take Keiko, and look at the push that's already coming through from crashies. They have this round sewn up. They know exactly where their opponents are. They've trapped them into the tiniest of boxes. Or maybe if they went vents, there'd be a chance, Mitch, but they're not going vents.
So many things they could have done there, but just sending Alfajer to
20 and 14, Chronicle 20 and 12. Both playing the same agent, both having high impact rounds. More Chronicle, a lot of the time, Mr. Impact has been taken out. Pressure on the other side. No way! How has Alfajer got away with that one? 6 HP, styling on that. And what would just about keep that man advantage alive. FNATIC have taken B main control.
They lost their...
Nobody going in that direction either. Already, Serial will put another in the dirt. Making this into an advantageous position. You wouldn't think it with the way that the round started. But getting into that post spawn, the only thing they have to worry about is main.
Can't believe they lost their pit, and Alpha just goes blast packing through, but he does pay a price. He's down to 6 HP. crashies falling. This round is under threat. They group up Alfajer and kaajak. Two duelists we highlighted coming into this. Alpha is the point of contact, and he had a chance against Keiko there. Just about misses the ship. As Boaster falls, it's looking like this one is already done. Just 6 HP in it. And Alfajer
do look to build into the site, which is slowly being stacked up.
Boaster's here. He's left that gap in heaven because they're confident that this is the right play, and now it's confirmed. Spike down. 25 seconds, flash out, but it's kaajak to fall. Chronicle not landing his shots either, and now they're wrapping around the side. He deals with that, or tries to, but Camo with another has opened up this side. A plan secured, and a Viper's pit to play inside of Alfajer, though. It's a target-rich environment, and he'll find one as Boaster sprays down a double in the elbow. Camo coming into play is going to be a lot of fun to watch. They're on the attack, and they've already lost one. It's Alfajer falling to Keiko.
It's been a while since I've seen anyone rezzed as well. You kind of forget that ultimate even exists with how things have been going recently. The Keiko fight not going too well for either side, but the plant is going to be coming in. Oh, no, it's not.
So you thought. So you thought, but the nade goes in. Now here's the wall. A little bit of safety to get that plant in. An orb, oh, it was not quite thrown through. Boaster falls, Chronicle in the same spot, and it's going to be hard for kaajak to fall back. He has to battle around this wall, and he's doing so with great success. Only one left.
Camo basically being the bait. Well, the bait's got one, but now do they expect the second player to be here? Well, already turning it back.
That's the problem. The drone's gone through, it's spotted him, and he won't quite make it around that corner before it's very much expected. Boaster still up in the spawn with that rotation, able to catch him. And now it's a 5 versus 3. Team Liquid won the opening duel, yet still their opponents have all their players. And it's Team Liquid on the massive back foot.
This surprise element has also faded because him being up here isn't the biggest shock now that they've left this site for so long. kaajak, immediate trade. Nats does well, though. He's given them a chance in this round. It looked like an impossibility. Serial trying to fight on that cross. Still not able to get the plant in. Nats looking to come in from above. Has managed to get another.
And actually, them stabilizing
Where's
and
he
now
going?
being in a pretty reasonable
Where's he
spot.
going?
Camo, I mean, that is not pretty. Caught out by the salvos. His support taken down too as Keiko falls. It's a 5 versus 3 and an immediate advantage for FNATIC.
He just tried to catch the timing running through the salvos, but that has not worked out at all. The sheer level of aggression is met by the patience of this FNATIC squad, and Alfie already looking comfortable once again, only Serial
Middle
standing.
angle, Viper's Pit for A, and even the Gecko ultimate sent down B as a recon. That'll be available late round if they do end up with retake.
The switch up though, the immediate move towards middle. Like after having both sides pressured, paTiTek though is there to try and hold the line. He's done well and has Nats alongside. The man who left his pit to try and support. There's still Alfia though, but look at the position of the spike. It's not going to be easy, the reuse of that Thrash, just to clear out any information that they can. It doesn't quite catch onto Alfia, but crashies getting out of this position alive should be very difficult while Keiko makes sure of it. It is ult
Deep into the spawn.
I say I don't mind it though. Like, well, when you're 4-1 down, your economy's on the brink, use those ultimates. Keiko
Poison's off.
already finding one, and with Boaster not having a gun, they have actually put FNATIC into an awkward position of their own. So for Liquid, that could be one of the most important rounds to win. Keiko looking like he's going to go back for more, and well, I couldn't keep up with where the shot went. It looked pretty close. How is crashies winning these fights? He's picked 2 players within the site, and he's just the ruse. 2 players now making a walk in towards A. Only Serial here doesn't have an ideal weapon of choice. He should at least be able to deny the plant, but he's being wrapped on. He's got to be incredibly careful, and having to give away his position eventually will be taken out.
Really nicely played. They were isolating themselves, but now, buying time for the flank, but Nats is ahead of the curve. If they take that kill, the defuse can be found for free. Look how far away Boaster is. He needed them to stay alive on that site to buy that little bit more time, and he's walled out by his own teammate's wall. The Snow Sage up from Alfajer in mid. He's trying to use this orb to creep under tube. That's somewhere that I think it's one of the only gaps for Team Liquid that we've seen so far. Ult comes into play. paTiTek dropping that wall now, and that's going to delay them by quite a bit, put the time very, very low. It even stops the orb from going up in middle, so Alpha can't really do anything about this. And all the while, as you pointed out, Tom, these rotations have come through. Team Liquid got 4 players ready for the fight.
Oh, already. Camo goes swinging in. He was low. Keiko's done well, but kaajak's there with the trade. Plant
No charges left. Your
has come through. Potential for the res. There isn't going to be the spam. It's actually kaajak that goes down. In fact, they all start to fall, and now the only man standing was the lurk. There's still a possibility. Both players need to cross, but the operator looking to hold, and in fact has already made it round that corner. Alfia needs to get a move on. In fact, I don't think there's going to be anywhere near enough time, even with that extra little nano swarm. That diffuser will come through. Liquid
A bit more relaxed about that.
He's back there again.
If they were rotating, they'd go right into his waiting arms. And like you said, he's right back in position, although now the pit is up. Luckily, he's got a shorty to play with. The downside is that lockdown put into play aggressively. It'll force them way back. And Nano to cover them on the cross. But as you said, the other side puts in a lockdown. Luckily, they're able to cancel that out.
Seconds left.
Now a problem is Nats is stuck on the site, but is the defense going to be good enough to keep him alive? Yes, it is! Serial buys them that little bit of space, and with the pit up, there has to be a response. A pit in the other direction as Boaster will try to starve them of any space to play around, and it looks like it's working! They've ran into kaajak! Things going swimmingly for FNATIC. Finally, the defuse underway. It's halved already. It's getting damn close, but they'll drop it in the end. And now, the remaining players need to get on it fast.
Last player standing.
down into that 1v1. Nats trying to stick it all the way through the wall.
A bar away from
Going
taking
again.
that across the line. Keiko showing absolutely no fear. This time, going earlier, going more aggressive, but he's in trouble. Gecko's ulti, Thrash on his tail. He won't be caught, though. Still safe. That Thrash might not be recoverable.
They're going to need a fair amount to do so. In fact, they might even need the sight them off. Keiko's still just looking for angles to be had, but with 15 pieces of utility being put into that backline, there's not really a spot left to hold. Wall already broken, and that's what we see it again. Just an attempt to try and re-aggress before they even get to the site. Spike will be dropped, but Alfia responds in kind. Looking for a little more, but kaajak is there. And while only one standing, Camo to face versus 4. It's looking like an even half, but there is still one standing.
Have to get that plant in. Looks like they're deciding to just run it down. It's the right call. They've got the numbers.
Face against.
So it utilized the deny map control in the first. Now it's the plants that they'll be looking to push back. Team Liquid deep in with Keiko. He's been getting aggressive on the defense and no change here on the attack. The space taken can already get them a plant. kaajak spotted down underneath. But how are they going to deal with him? It's a risk to go swinging in that deep, but oh, it almost works out. But kaajak up to his old tricks here in the pistol. It's a triple off the classic, but still a 2 versus 2. He goes in through the orb, wrapping around. Got a bit of an under 2 play. This was a gap that Team Liquid left on their defense, and they're exploiting it immediately, already in kitchen.
There's a lot of players around this spot, but none of them really being able to deny. It comes down to Boaster to try and do the damage. And well, we've spoken a lot this season about his individual level going through the roof. 2 quick kills, and well, paTiTek's sneaky play is not as sneaky as he thinks. kaajak watches him all the way and waits. A little bit more of an awkward spot. Your duelist, the man meant to take space, so desperately low. But with 4 players already on this side of the map, the gamble really is over on the other side. A res for kaajak, but he can't bring himself back if he goes down and have their way back into A. But you can see the only idea for kaajak is get someone on the cross.
He spotted them. Even just the information's enough for him with the advantage already in their court. An audacious play from Keiko. 10 HP, plays behind a very spammable box. The most spammable spot towards B, the most commonly spammed. And then he takes a fight. Well, they were more than happy to fire right back. Spike given over to Nats. Will be just 2 away from that Viper's Pit in play, as FNATIC happy to play the retake. The res there, kaajak doesn't want to be the one taking contact, but look at this setup on backside. A high-low coming in from Camo and Serial, and it will be disrupted immediately. The salvo's doing well to put them on the back foot in this initial fight, and all FNATIC need to do is trade. crashies goes down as Serial picks up the double. It's Camo to trade out, and now FNATIC on the back foot. kaajak having to do it all again, but he's got the res to bring crashies back into play. A valuable player indeed, no ultimate and no salvos just yet. It's all about the swing, and he's caught wall in hand. paTiTek does well, and the defuse needing to be stuck at least a half. crashies gets him, and within just in the nick of time. And it's going to be FNATIC back in the lead if they lose this one, but they'll have the money to fight back. That's all that matters.
Okay, a lot of awkward positions to fight from. Alpha up above has already managed to clear out 2.
Rifle down.
Yeah, it will be retrieved by paTiTek though, and he's not looking to just sit pretty. He wants to try and clear some ground. In fact, the Viper's Pit's going to be invested. Now, they expected this. 2 stingers on the other side. Normally, that's an absolute stinker of a buy, but in a Viper's Pit, hey, that does damage.
Oh yeah, they have got some real opportunity, and look how far back Nats is playing, allowing paTiTek and Keiko to be the one taking these duels. Ult put into play, Nats falls back, but Keiko still close, gets his Blade Storm, but he won't land the shots. crashies drops him with the wrap around from paTiTek, not expected. They are thinning out the herd, leaving it down to just Nats, but he's up close!
He doesn't get that kill, they lose the round. It's almost guaranteed. That one little play, and okay, not the...
Battle on the side being given up by FNATIC. They're going to play this one very passive indeed. And it's no wonder why. There's a lockdown in play for this squad if they want it. And they're hoping for over-aggression. They're hoping for a pick to be handed over into their favor. Flash, no. That's the ult being held and now responded in by Chronicle, who I think has caught one. Yes, indeed he has, but paTiTek is still up close. He's defending his stunned up teammates. The salvos barely avoided a sliver of health left. Good flash. Patty's blind, goes swinging deep, and they'll get another rifle out of that when Nat's already tagged low. A real opportunity now. They pushed them back to belt, but the ranged fight with the recovered rifle, that stands well for them, and the walls blocked them off. At least for now, the MAÇ was able to deny, but Camo falling leaves this round in jeopardy. It's FNATIC's with an easy defuse. The potential return to form. Masters events, not somewhere they've done well recently. Chance to recover on that reputation.
FNATIC again have gone for the full retake. I think what they've been doing with Teo, sort of clearing a lot of these aggressive angles, has helped them out massively.
You should run.
crashies, in fact, has been huge, but this time they don't have the counter lockdown available to them. Last time out, they were able to buy a little bit of extra space to get into position. Instead, Liquid have used this to get positioning of their own. In fact, look how far forward they sit.
They've got no utility. They have to make up for it with the Brawn already dropping Boaster. That's the Viper's Pit out of play, and a lot of the hope of this round having already fallen. kaajak has a res. He's going to use it. I thought maybe they would let this one slide, but no, they want to battle. kaajak with the self-heal, but he's taken down, and now crashies with it all.
Economy on the brink here. kaajak. He's as close as could be, but Keiko and Serial immediately find opening picks. That's a save.
Battling for that third map, and yeah, they've pushed.
Yeah, that's the main thing.
That window, move into kitchen and backstab kaajak on top of
again,
the wall.
ultimates firmly in their favor for this round, and you can see Boaster's only plan is to deny them the plant. But with Keiko managing to get so far forward, and even hearing some of the steps, it all comes down to this fight, and he wins it again. The second time he's managed to eliminate kaajak from this position and give his team the sight. The main thing, though, is the time. 17 seconds as they go running in. There's an Armageddon, and also the Salvo still online. They could deny this plant.
10 seconds left.
Armageddon's going to win this round. Salvo's already sent through. Here comes Armageddon. It's going to be a deeper plant, but not deep enough. I think it'll actually just about get in, but they're swinging in for the fight. The battle with them.
Bladestorm brought in. Thrash also available. Keiko is just looking to brawl, and he has Nats alongside him. This is not a sneaky beaky lurk. This is a run straight down mid play. And already it has ended in an even scenario. Straight out with the Thrash, but Serial's the one to give them the advantage. A really good opportunity here for Liquid to take the lead.
Uh-oh. kajak's been caught. Luckily, Chronicle hasn't, but while he's busy defending his teammate, there's a flank all the way around. I'm not talking about crashies. I'm looking at Keiko on the other side as crashies falls. This round is very much in jeopardy. Up the steps he goes, his timing perfect, his position unpredictable, and he's not going to go for the knife kill. Neither the ult nor the third weapon in his inventory, as Chronicle is left his own devices, looking to just carry this weapon through to the next at this stage. The round's already gone. Team Liquid have landed themselves at 12th round, and they want to take the down. And in another aggressive play from Team Liquid, just going straight in towards B. No mid-split this time, expecting perhaps an adaptation from FNATIC, but kajak's got a play of his own, up on the wall. Won't find the pick, but they do deny the plan.
That's definitely going to make things a lot tougher. It's not like the other side where there's a Sage wall or something to respond. The response that is there is the usage of those lockdowns. Plant will be found. Viper's Pit sent through, and while Camo is going to be caught, there's not really anything that can be done by that. It's just whether or not they can punish him.
That's the thing. I mean, they can definitely get up there, but they're being slow about it, and there's a player already waiting for that swing. Camo comes out of the ult, no longer detained and able to take down Alfajer. A problem brewing. crashies finds one, Viper's Pit, but they're on him, straight on him with the shorty. It's denied as kaajak tries desperately to pull this back, but the position of Keiko is too much to handle. Chronicle with it all to do. A 1v2 and a
FNATIC are so ready for these players pushing towards Dish.
Oh, kaajak certainly is off to a flying start. Not just on the Sage where he shows up, the pistol rounds are his territory. That's a triple with one from Alfajer. It's all on Serial.
Remainder looking to try and make their way through sand. Alfajer seemingly caught sleeping at the wheel. That one's all too easy for Nats, and sure, crashies still survives on the site, and kaajak clings to life, but they need quite a lot here. Camo clears out the site, and the remaining players, yeah, look how low they
Team
are.
Liquid were approaching that site hit.
Last two maps haven't already. That pace is not stopping, though.
Liquid certainly not coming in cold after Icebox. A dangerous position for Camo, but he's safe in the corner. Yeah, they can't spam him out from there, and Alfajer not quite safe to go swinging in. The box is in his way. Camo gets a second lease of life. Normally players would be down and out in this position. And the Molly, well, that's forcing him into an awkward spot. The spam's avoided again. I mean, he is in a number of situations where he should be dead to rights. Third time lucky for FNATIC, not quite. Camo's the one taking that. Now coming through the smoke for a little bit more, and he'll catch Boaster. A phenomenal round. He'll finally meet his maker, but a round. Able to make it work so far. Scoped in, looking for a target, but they're not going to be peeking. They've got traps and a camera, a smoke down right after that. I mean, gifts away that destruction. Alfajer, though, very sneaky spot. He's looking the wrong way, but he still grabs one. That's all that you can write home about, though, as Team Liquid run riot over the site. Find themselves a plant as a result, a man advantage to play with.
If the plant goes the way of Serial as well, that'll be the Armageddon. I said that ultimate impulse plant is utter filth. He's not in the greatest position for it, but it might not even be needed. Crashes with the trade. As said, he carried them last time around, but not this time.
A little too late, though.
The SMG, that is because he's running it down already. Looking to try and get him behind them. In fact, it is a double up both times. Both teams, in fact, doing exactly the same thing. And Alfajer is kind of just stuck in no man's land, but just hiding, hoping he gets his comeback.
A Boaster getting destroyed. Right past one goes Camo. And he will be dropped in the end as Alfajer finally gets his reward, but they don't know about Keiko. And they find out the hard way. It's crap.
And for Alfajer, well, I think there's got to be a level of frustration because not only as well, that was Chronicle, right?
And speaking of the wall, the Vice wall has to be bypassed. I'll go through it on south side as 3. But the A site's already been lost. Trapwire, activate.
Okay.
Good kill for Boaster. They've dodged the ult. Already a decent trade out to start this. Keiko under pressure, but he's got support. Never mind, he doesn't have any support anymore. That's the rifle putting in work.
Finally, we've seen crashies in a position where he can do some damage. They've managed to avoid him throughout. Camo, though, still looking to fight, spots out Chronicle and makes it look easy. From a 4v2 to a 2v2, and he's looking for that little bit more. They line up, but he doesn't get anything. Now it's left all on to paTiTek, and it's crashies to drive. 4 for crashies. He seems to be the man at the moment. Well, kaajak has done well. There's so many ults being thrown through. They left them in a trap. While the pace this time has been stopped. That's the other thing. We talk about the mentality for FNATIC, but if they can stop their opponents from running and gunning and making their way into the sites with ease, this can become a very different half. Already a 2-man advantage, but site looking to fall. Well, Nats is always careful, but Keiko wasn't. And now Serial, all that remains.
Alfajer doing well too. I mean, there's been a couple of sneaky positions that he's just been rooted out of, dropped in early on before he can have the impact. This time he's right on that horse. Serial being burned out of that position, and he's double flanked on main as he's waiting for these players to overpeak in front of him.
Ready. The same for Liquid in the last map. It took a big round for them to get back into the game. Nats under pressure, but still seemingly thriving within it. It's only going to be the one, but the trade immediate on the other side. Camo once again dancing in towards the opponent's spawn. Chronicle, he's tucked in. paTiTek is completely unaware. That will be a plant for Serial. Bear in mind, that is his ultimate online. Well, at least it will be once he's no longer suppressed.
But Serial, he's not backing off to play the time to play the ult. He's sitting on the side. He's tanking that utility down to 70 HP. Blinded up as well, and his teammate not quite close enough to the smoke to help out. He'll drop after just one to pressure on to Keiko, but he delivers right when he needs to. One picked up. Chronicle trying to stick it to half. In fact, he's going to get it all the way there. Forces the fight with Keiko. Keiko sees he's not defusing, running this clock down. The time.
Just that little bit lower. kaajak finally in the right place at the right time, but stunned up, and immediately 2 teammates make that him as well. Gone. paTiTek again, and even has a little help from Nats. Alfajer, well, he's a man of many moments, Mitch, but
not this one.
Are you sure?
Rolling Thunder, Armageddon online. And they're just sending it. There's no waiting around. They are going to blitz in with you.
Well, making the owners of the org very happy indeed. Who stand in their way are the masters of the comeback. FNATIC looking to try and turn the tide, and maybe a kaajak 3K will help them out.
Winners of Stage 1 last year on the ropes, 4 rounds, and a disadvantage here in the pistol. kaajak, he'd been putting up 3Ks, 3 in a row, but now he's put to bed early. Damage onto Alfajer in this 2 versus 2. Oh, he's almost finished off by Nats, but the wall gets in the way. Still a chance for FNATIC, but time is ticking. They need to force the fight, and Alpha successfully takes Nats out, leaves it onto Serial. He's had a rougher performance so far, but this could be his round. to bury the hatchet in the
In
backside.
hand, and crashies was well aware of the potential of that peak. The defense already fighting firmly towards that south side. Taking a lot of control, but it's the same setup as before, just leaving Cypher utility, grouping up, ready for some sort of pressure.
Look to Serial to either find one or at a minimum survive this engagement. Spam, not the best idea. 3 players ready to fire right back and confidently swinging into main. Boaster, another player with a slower start when it comes to this map. They've just heard the walk-up as well from Nats, and he will be dealt with ease. That's it, Team Liquid. May even be calling the save at this point. paTiTek can even get out of here. Smoke to try to get him back. Problem is, Alfajer feeling very confident indeed. He's just gone to get the rifle and runs right back out. There was a chance there. He saw paTiTek toying with the idea of a peek, but that rifle, much more valuable, carried through to the next.
Yeah, I think Alfajer had that moment of realization of, well, I could run in while having a Vandal, but the Bulldog was willing to be sacrificed. They actually gave him a Guardian so he could run in. The man is just hitting right now. Especially kaajak, but he's having a quieter game so far. Luckily, FNATIC have had players to step up. That's not the man you want to lose, though. Boaster, the smokes are gone. Definite opportunities on a map like this to try and take those firefights, but they now have to try and make a decision of where they want to go, and it's straight back into the operator again.
The only thing that they can do to cut that off is put up those flaming walls of kaajak, and they don't last very long. You got to be very precise about where they're put into play. And look how passive Camo's playing. Even around the site, you see the pings go through. Perhaps that's where salvos will land. Indeed it is, but he's got an angle around it.
30
The
seconds.
stun hasn't landed on him, and a shot fired with great success. Rolling Thunder gives him a third, and he's forced into the open. Eventually, he will fall, but paTiTek's here to pick up the pieces. This is his map. Chronicle, try as he might to pull this back. The ult won't be put through. 11 HP. A gust of wind will take him forward, as we should see Kamo start that rotate to the other side fairly soon. Ultimate already committed, but it will be returned on. Armageddon from both sides. Nats actually catches Alfajer with the late lurk. His patience wins out that opening duel, but it's traded out quickly with paTiTek down and a Rolling Thunder committed to the site. You have to rely on that cross being held by Kamo, and he's doing a wonderful job. A double, make that.
Back-to-back 3Ks, back-to-back rounds. He is stuck in the mud, but he has some support, or at least did, now completely isolated. The utility is enough to finally find him.
Nats left on 8 HP too. FNATIC with a good chance, a solid early fight. The wall tripped, baited out to start this off. kaajak got a big battle up in heaven, and he's won it too, with Nat still clinging onto life. Look at the north side though. Look at the push coming through from Serial. He almost caught the spike, but it has managed to evade him. It just now went on the rope to south, but paTiTek cleaning up kaajak brings this back into the realm of possibility. Nats popping the ult, he's 8 HP though. Even the pistols could take him down with ease. He has to be careful, but what he has done is bought time for Serial to reposition, to set up, to deny this main aggression.
That was the goal. Doesn't want to allow them to cross. They're not going to do it when they don't have the guns.
30 seconds.
30 seconds, they're now going to make their move. Nat's incredibly low, already dealt with. paTiTek isn't much healthier. It feels like a lot of this is going to come down to what Serial can do on this cross. First goes his way, but he's also tagged. The HP firmly in the favor of the FNATIC players as they finally make their way towards the site. But as one of them is planting, the swing is going to come out, but nobody connecting. In fact, crashing. It has been a back and forth series all the way through. Well, see you later, Nats. The anchor of this B site, with his utility still down on the ground, is going to find absolutely nothing. Keiko has primed that orbital strike. The stun in as well is perfect. Can both get out? No, he can't. A lovely combo of the Brim and Breach. That'll be enough to make things even.
Yeah, has ulti.
Spike planted.
I don't know if we'll see it. The rifle should be enough. Camo's looking for an opportunity, a pick to be had, but nothing offered up. If he had his ulti, it would be popped. But he's going to have to do it with the operator instead. crashies on another one. It's a wall bang through to Keiko. Serial does well with one. And the tap there, putting pressure on. Someone has to swing, and it's Alfajer to do it, but now the picks go the other way. It's all onto Chronicle. The clutch needed, and it will
To make it through earlier in the day. Already. Oh, what? There's just a few pieces missing, but it doesn't seem like it. An immediate pop of the ult wasn't even the party piece of the round. Alfajer has popped 2 heads, and that's it. It's done. 10 already for FNATIC.
That is a blink. It's going to be a tight margin. Serial under pressure. And for Team Liquid, it's not the same boat. If they lose these weapons, that's going to be a big disadvantage for the next round. For now, at least, they're holding on tight. The stun already subsided.
It looked like they had the credits to do so with the 2 guns saved, but they've taken a lighter purchase. But they do still have one ultimate online and the other close. Immediately straight through the ultimate. Well, that's about as easy as a kill is ever going to get. That was a bit of a mistake. That was crashies' ult that he tried to get through, didn't make it. Look, because Serial's about to throw his into the mix. Basically executed his own teammate, sent him to his death, and handed Nats a rifle, who's now chasing after Boaster, looking to run it down. crashies has to rectify. Manages one. Serial wins a battle with the Classic. This could be match point for the side of Liquid. They barely invested. There was only a few guns into this round, and at this stage, there's nothing that Chronicle could do. Just goes to try and fight, but towards him. I'm not sure, but we have to move on.
Even tanking the damage, getting
Here
through,
we go.
the surprise could be worth it.
But this time, kaajak has been able to find the opener. crashies in the corner, though, caught off. The ultimate doing the work. Chronicle immediately trading things out, and although the weapons were weaker, he's now found an upgrade.
Alfajer, this is his moment to step up. He's found one, but not ready for the second. Keiko drops him. The fallback for Main a little quicker than expected. And the 4v2, the almost certain victory, now put into question. They fake the steps. No, it's a full rotation to the B site. No, they're going to trip the wall. That's the idea here. Give them fake information and then go on the rotate back, and it's worked. Nats is already leaving. Keiko is sitting on the site. Either way, it's going to be an isolated fight, but he's realized, great read from Nats. No one's there. This is a fake.
Yeah. Keiko, the man, the MVP
30 seconds left.
of kickoff. It's going to be under pressure. Still plenty of flashes, stuns, a Molotov as well. An orbital strike one away. If Boaster gets the kill, it feels like the round is already sealed. As Keiko sits in this back corner, it's not necessarily checked on, but even still they dance.
Vibe different now. They're sweating, realizing that this is slipping out of there. FNATIC have to re-aggress. They're going to do so with less of that punchy utility. Deep flash, orbital strike put into play, though. That's going to force them forward. It forces Camo into their waiting arms. He couldn't get out of there and had to go in deeper. The stun is perfect from kaajak. Sets himself up for success, and the round should be theirs. Serial, he had a shaky start to this map, and a chance to recover it all. It's just Nats, 1v2, an ult to be used, to be put into play right in the final round. And that's going to delay the push.
Yeah, they have time. They didn't need to run it down into the site. They didn't need to take the fights without their weapons. Maybe he thought they were more committed than they were, and because of that, they're able to fall back and look to refight this.
All still in play. Razorfine's still there.
They've known it's there, though. They've known it's there every single time. But Nats has already repositioned. Chronicle's going to get isolated, though. Maybe thinking it was a little bit deeper, and now 15 seconds. There's not really any time for Boaster to run it back, but he will. Crying back from 12-10. FNATIC have been on the back foot all the way up until now. But this is where they do their best work. Both players stunned. Actually, a somewhat isolated kaajak. He has support from Boaster, but it's a little bit further behind. Needs to find a fight, and he gets it. That's Nats gone.
Leaded from the round, indeed. Coming from the smokes, though, is Keiko to level the playing field. Chronicle manages to answer back north side. Late flank coming in. Very late indeed, and that's why FNATIC pumped the brakes. They've got the advantage, and they're going to let these players, crashies and Alfajer, try to carve out some control of their own. Not wanting to go up the rope and into heaven. They're waiting for a peek. They're waiting, knowing Team Liquid will look for information, and knowing their utilities coming online soon. Both come into play at exactly the right moment.
One wins by 2.
Far from over. Team Liquid still have 5 players standing, most of which towards this A site, but they're sending 2 back to B. FNATIC have pumped the brakes to great effect. They've baited out the wall. They didn't push on the back of it. 50 seconds on the clock. Rotate comes back in. 4 players here to work with. Stuns go through. So do the salvos, but Nat still has a safe angle. They might not expect that. They've seen him now. Boaster and Chronicle finding 2. This could be it. The final domino set to fall. Team Liquid dig deep with paTiTek on 1, but he's immediately traded out. It's Kamo who has to find success. The spike right in front of him, and now on the floor. Alfajer has to move back to get it. Kamo in his way, but it will